Hello and welcome to this new video. Right now I'm here at Nippori Station, right now I'm at home recording this voiceover, but real life Ventus was at Nippori Station in the clip you see right now. So this will be part 1 of a 2-part video series. In today's video I will be taking the Keisei Skyliner to Narita International Airport, and along the way I will share some pretty interesting facts about the Skyliner, because there are a few details that makes this train quite different from other limited express service trains in Japan. After arriving at Narita, I'll visit a very special station. It's directly accessible from the airport, but most of you probably have never seen or used it before. Thanks for tuning in and let's get started. This was actually my first time using the Keisei Skyliner, since basically I think it only uses to get to Narita Airport and I didn't need to do that before, so yeah. Buying the ticket already felt quite different compared to other express trains I've taken before. When booking online in advance, I unfortunately couldn't reserve a seat. I intentionally chose a weekday because I hoped that it might be less crowded, but I was wrong. The train was almost completely full and I didn't get a window seat. So my mood wasn't the best, because also filming was really limited. But what I did find funny though was that almost everyone else was traveling with huge luggage, while I was just sitting there with my tiny backpack. So I mean, it's of course like the people want to get to the airport, so they're traveling with big luggage. Also, most of the people were mostly foreigners. I found it was pretty funny actually. So yeah. But what exactly makes the Skyliner so unique? There are several reasons for that. First of all, it's one of the very few non-Shinkansen trains in Japan that runs on standard gauge instead of narrow gauge tracks. Secondly, due to regulations, non-Shinkansen trains in Japan are generally limited to a maximum speed of 130 km per hour. The Skyliner is the exception to that. As far as I've been able to find out, it's the only non-Shinkansen train that is allowed to operate at speeds up to 160 km per hour on a certain section of its route, and the reason for that is tied to its history. After the construction of Narita International Airport, there were plans to build a Shinkansen line connecting Tokyo Station to the airport. Construction actually began, but after several years the project was cancelled, mainly due to local opposition and the financial struggles of the former Japanese national railways. By the time, about 6 kilometers of Shinkansen standard tracks had already been complete. Like all regular Shinkansen lines, this section had no level crossings and was built mostly on elevated structures. Eventually, Keisei, in cooperation with JR East, acquired the unfinished infrastructure and converted it to what is now known as the Narita Sky Access Line. Because large parts of this line have no level crossings, trains are permitted to operate at speed of up to 160 km per hour here. I hope that explanation wasn't too dry, but I personally think the background story is really interesting and I had a lot of fun researching it. But now you might be wondering, why did I even go to Narita International Airport in the first place? The reason is Higashi Narita Station. I already mentioned the history of the Sky Access Line, and the story of Higashi Narita Station overlaps with it in many ways. Okay, so it's kind of loud here. I just left the airport there and now we're heading to Higashi Narita Station. Now the way should probably get quieter. And if everything is right, yeah. Like there's the busy terminal, Narita Airport Terminal 2 and 3 station, and now we have this cursed way to Higashi Narita Station, which is I think around 1 kilometer long or half a kilometer long. Okay, well it's it's definitely a bit weird, like the floor is a bit destroyed. Here's a camera and yeah. thought there were like two people passing by right now. I will probably speak a bit more quiet, but just look at this room. That's crazy. Okay, I think that's a good opportunity to tell a bit about or do I want to do it? Yeah, I think I will just tell it right away, or I will explain it in a voiceover. Originally, Keisei was not allowed to build its station directly underneath the airport terminal, because that space had been reserved for the planned Narita Shinkansen station. So instead, Keisei had to build what was then called Narita Airport Station about 1 kilometer away from the terminal. Naturally, it wasn't very convenient, especially for passengers traveling with lots of luggage. After the Narita Shinkansen project was cancelled though, JR East and Keisei agreed to modify the unfinished underground Shinkansen station beneath Terminal 1 so that it could be used by both companies. The newer station became the main Narita Airport Station, and the old one was renamed Higashi Narita Station and was largely abandoned by Keisei. Today, the old tracks are mainly used to park out of service trains. What makes this place so fascinating is that much of the original design has been preserved, which makes visiting it feel like stepping back in time. So come along with me and let's explore this hidden piece of railway history together with real life vendors. So yeah, see ya. Okay, so from that point on I'm going to tell a bit again. At least there's a vending machine, so it's not that abandoned. And there, this is the old platform of the Keisei Skyliner, if I'm not wrong, which is now like turned down. And over there you see the ticket gates. That's the ticket gate for the probably shortest railway line in Japan. The how was this called? Shibayama Tetsudo? I'm not sure, people. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm going to correct it in the comments, so I'm sorry. Look, there's plastic and it's wet. Okay, let's see what this exit is about. It's really a bad acoustic, of course. Maybe we can go further from here. Okay, now at this point I probably have already shown you some pictures of the station and some clips with maybe voiceovers or something like that, I'm not sure. I'm right now in front of the Higashi Narita station. At least it's one entrance, I don't know if there are multiple. Here's some old closed off entrance apparently. I'm just looking around here outside a bit. It's kind of creepy because here is, well, nothing or no one. Here are some parking lots, a lot of them, and you're like in the airport area, so I'm just looking around here a bit. If I okay, here's nothing. There's some people working at the escalator or something down in the station, so don't necessarily want to speak down there, so I probably will just record a few clips and make a voiceover of it, but I will probably go down soon again. Okay, I was looking around the outside here a bit, but I think maybe you can't even get out of this place. I'm not sure. There might be some, like here, fences all around it. There might be a way over there to get out, but you also have to cross like a street with many cars. So I think I'm good. I'm just going back into like this is the station building. There's not much going on here anymore. But yeah, I'm probably just going back into the station and see there or something. Here the train lines for, oh look at that. I don't know, is this the, this might be the train track for the Skyliner, but I'm not sure about that. No, this can't be the Skyliner line, or? I'm not sure. Well, I might look it up and write it into the video at that point. Okay, so this is the fence that was behind, or the wall that was behind earlier. I somehow managed to get outside. And at one of the exits there was even a train staff like guarding the area, which was also really funny. Like I was behind the fences here earlier. I'm probably going back in 1 or 2 minutes. I just wanted to look outside. Okay, I'm at the station platform right now. There is like no one really around. I think on the other side of the staircase someone, so we'll try to speak a bit more quiet. My train goes in like 20 minutes, but there's one train coming. Which one is it? This one is it? On what side? Oh, on what side will it come? Yeah. Oh, the Chiyoda line bound for Narita. This one is the train we will take later. The yeah, I still don't know the name. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up after the video here right now. But this is the train we will take afterwards. But in this direction, it's running as a other name. So technically speaking, it's operating as a other line right now. This train car, which means technically speaking, the other line is only one station. But yeah, I have to wait like for 20 minutes here. I checked the schedule. Yeah, I will probably sit on one of these benches, do some Anki, probably film a bit and speak with you guys. And then we will go to the, not to the least used, but to the, yeah, we will drive the shortest train ride. And despite it's only so short and a 1 or 2 minute ride, it's like 220 yen. So not cheap. But yeah, the nice thing is, I think... Wait, maybe? I'm not completely sure, but maybe on the other side the tracks were like the old Skyliner tracks. Because I looked it up, the Skyliner runs on normal standard gauge tracks, not like most other regular commuter trains in Japan, which use the like a more narrow track. But the Skyliner uses the normal gauge tracks, and so this on the other side might be the old platform for the Skyliner. I might also want to look in the other direction just to look around a bit. So yeah, it's so crazy. It's like this place stopped in time. At least it's a new. Okay, alright, so that's it for part 1. Sorry if this video felt a bit chaotic and if I didn't really show as much of the station as I originally wanted to. But yeah, well, I still feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes talking to a camera in public, especially in places where there are people around. I know at that place, in that situation, there weren't many people around, but still there was always the risk that someone would turn around the corner and then I would be like standing there awkward and talking to the camera. And yeah, I really don't like that. But well, I hope you still enjoyed the video anyways. If you did, feel free to leave a like or a comment. It really helps out a lot. I already briefly mentioned it, but in part 2 I will be riding Japan's shortest railway line and I'll try to talk about it in a bit more structured and detailed way than I did in this video. So thanks for watching and I hope I'll see you next time. See ya, bye bye.